If you think trying is risky, wait until they hand you the bill for not trying. Risk is everywhere, but the real question is, which risk are you willing to live with? Trying and maybe failing, or not trying and never knowing what could have been? Today we're diving into 10 truths about taking risks that might just change how you see fear, failure, and your future. Let's begin. Most people are afraid to take risks. They're scared of failing, scared of being judged, scared of losing time, money, or reputation. But what they often don't see is that not taking action carries a cost too, a much higher one. Not trying doesn't feel risky at first. It feels safe, comfortable, familiar. But the price doesn't show up today. It shows up later in regret, stagnation, and missed potential. You're afraid of jumping in, afraid it's too cold, too deep, too unfamiliar. So you stay on the edge. You watch others swim, grow, improve, thrive, and years pass. Then you realize the water wasn't dangerous. Your fear of the jump is what kept you from the life you wanted. Imagine two people, both 30 years old. One of them, let's call her Sarah, dreams of starting an online business. She's passionate about wellness and wants to help people get healthy, but every year she says, it's not the right time. She fears losing money, looking foolish, failing, so she stays at her job, playing it safe. The other person, Jamal, also works a 9-5, but he decides to take a risk. He builds his wellness brand on weekends, learns marketing at night, and yes, he fails at first. No sales. Embarrassing mistakes, but he keeps going. 5 years later, Sarah is still in the same place, wondering if she should start. Jamal now runs a full-time business, employs others, and lives life on his terms. He took the risk, she didn't, and now she's paying the price for not trying. Inaction is a silent thief. It won't scream at you, it won't knock on your door, but over time it will rob you of confidence, opportunities, growth, fulfillment, and even income. It's sneaky because it's comfortable, but comfort is often the most expensive decision of all. What if it doesn't work? Ask yourself, what if I never try? The second question is scarier and more honest, because you can recover from a failed attempt, but you can't recover the years you didn't try. Action step, pick one thing you've been putting off, something that matters to your growth, and today, take one small step toward it. Not a leap, a step. Sign up for the course, launch the website, send the message, record the first video. You don't have to finish today, you just have to begin. Trying is risky, but not trying, that's the biggest risk of all. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. So try, learn, grow. Even if you fail, you'll be further than the person who never began. Step 2, regret hurts more than failure. We often avoid risk because we fear failure. But here's the truth, failure lasts a moment, regret lasts a lifetime. You can bounce back from a failed attempt. You can't undo a life unlived. We've been trained to fear failure like it's the worst-case scenario. But it's not. The real worst-case scenario. Looking back and realizing you never even tried. You're sitting in your chair, alone with your thoughts, and you start to wonder, what if I had tried that business idea? What if I had moved to that new city? What if I had told them how I really felt? What if I had gone for it instead of playing it safe? That's regret. And it doesn't whisper, it screams. Before Amazon, Jeff Bezos had a safe job on Wall Street. Great pay, good benefits, stable future. But he had an idea, to sell books on the internet. Everyone told him it was risky, unproven, dangerous, and they were right. But Bezos asked himself one powerful question. When I'm 80, will I regret not trying this? The answer was yes. So he quit his job and built Amazon. He understood that the regret of not trying would haunt him longer than the sting of failure ever could. Millions of people have ideas, but they wait and wait and wait until one day they realize they waited their whole life. Some say, what if I fail? But few ask, what if I succeed? Most people let fear of failure outweigh desire for fulfillment. And that trade-off, it costs them their dream. Let's reframe failure. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is feedback. Failure is learning. Failure is part of the process. Every successful person has failed, publicly, painfully, repeatedly. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for TV. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school team. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. But you don't remember their failures, you remember what came after. Now why does regret hurt more? Because it's forever. You can't go back in time, you can't relive your 20s or your 30s or the energy, time, and potential you once had. We must all suffer one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Think about one thing you've wanted to do for a long time but haven't. Now ask yourself, if I don't try this, will I regret it later? If I try and fail, what's the worst that could happen? Can I live with the failure, or will I forever wonder what if? If regret scares you more than failure, that's your sign. Start now. Don't be the person who looks back and says, I wish I had. Be the person who says, I'm glad I did, even if it didn't work out. Because regret never comes from giving it your all. It comes from holding back. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are built for. You're not built for comfort. You're built for courage. You're built for more. So go try. Fail if you must, but never, ever live with regret. Step 3. Small risks lead to big rewards. Most people think success comes from one giant leap. But the truth? Success is built on small, consistent risks taken over time. Not all risks need to be huge. You don't have to quit your job today or invest your life savings tomorrow. But if you want change, you have to move. And movement always carries some level of risk. Think of risk like planting seeds. Every time you take a risk, no matter how small, you plant a seed. When you raise your hand to speak up in a meeting, when you post that first video, when you message a potential mentor, when you apply for the job you feel unqualified for, when you invest $100 to learn a new skill, these aren't massive moves, but they build momentum. And momentum, over time, leads to breakthroughs. Sarah Blakely started with $5,000 in savings and a small idea. She didn't rent an office. She didn't quit her job immediately. She just bought one prototype, one small risk. Then she started calling hosiery mills, one after another. Hundreds said no, but she kept going. That one small risk of taking her idea seriously eventually turned into a billion-dollar company. It started small, but it grew because she moved. Why small risks matter? Most people get overwhelmed because they're trying to change everything all at once. But success doesn't demand giant leaps, it demands consistent, courageous action. Even small decisions, repeated, change your entire future. Choosing to read instead of scroll, choosing to save instead of spend, choosing to send the email instead of talking yourself out of it. Each one rewires your brain, builds confidence, opens new doors. Don't ask, how do I take a massive risk? Ask, what's one small thing I can do today that makes me a little braver? One tiny, bold step. That's it. You don't need to know the whole path, just the next move. Because when you take one risk, you get a result. When you get a result, you gain clarity. And when you gain clarity, you gain confidence. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations and the demands to perform are high. That's a small risk too. Leaving comfort, leaving average, surrounding yourself with people who stretch you. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it changes your life. What's one small risk I've been avoiding because I'm overthinking it? What's the first action I can take today that challenges my comfort zone? Even just a little. Now do it. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't wait until you feel ready. Take the first step, however small, now. Remember, big success is made of little moves, tiny risks, small experiments, bold decisions repeated daily. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So don't look for the giant leap, look for the next step. The people who win in life, they aren't braver than you. They just took the first risk and kept going. So be willing to look silly, be willing to fail small, be willing to bet on yourself, even when no one else does. Because small risks lead to big rewards. Step 4. Fear will always be there. Move anyway. Let's get one thing straight. You will never be fearless, and that's okay. Fear isn't your enemy. It's proof you're doing something that matters. You feel fear when you're on the edge of growth, when you're stepping into the unknown, when you're about to do something meaningful. If you're waiting for fear to disappear, you'll be waiting your whole life. If you want to live an uncommon life, you must learn to handle the tension and the pressure of uncommon decisions. Translation: fear is part of the process. The real problem: people wait for fear to go away. They wait to feel confident, wait until they're certain, wait until it's comfortable. But growth never comes wrapped in comfort. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward in spite of fear. You'll always feel nervous before the first speech, before the job interview, before the launch, before the ask. But that fear isn't a stop sign. It's a signal you're exactly where you need to be. Will Smith once told the story of going skydiving. The night before, he was terrified, couldn't sleep, full of anxiety. But when he finally jumped, he said it was the most blissful experience of his life. The point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear. What does this mean for you? You might be scared to start your business, speak up at work, move to a new city, post that first video, invest in your future, and that's normal. You're human. You care. That's why it matters. But don't let fear freeze you. Let it fuel you. The goal isn't to eliminate fear. The goal is to take it along for the ride. How does one move through fear? Breathe and name it. Ruai in tracks. Woman and brain. Days of long wall hen. The cane tree. I'm nervous because I care. Naming your fear reduces its power. Shrink the moment. Don't worry about the whole path. Just focus on the next move. Take a small step while scared. Visualize the outcome. Rutrek tone. See yourself succeeding. Feel the relief after you've done it. Remember, fear lies. Action reveals the truth. Build a fear routine. Do one thing each week that makes you uncomfortable. Speak up, ask, apply, post. Over time, your comfort zone will stretch. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Hendel, reframe fear. Fruit fear means you're growing. Fear means you're reaching. Fear means you're alive. The only people who feel no fear are doing nothing. Don't envy their comfort. They're not living, they're hiding. You can let fear stop you, or you can let fear shape you. But either way, it's coming. So step forward. Tremble if you have to. Sweat, shake, stutter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you move. Because progress isn't about perfection, it's about action, even when it's hard. Remember this, you're not weak because you feel fear. You're brave because you're still going. Keep risking, keep rising. Fear will always be there, but so will your future. Choose the future, move anyway. Step 5, success is hidden in boring reps. Here's a truth nobody wants to hear. Success is boring, not exciting, not glamorous, not viral. It's not fireworks, it's reps. Day in, day out. The small, often invisible things, done consistently. Repetition builds results. You want six-pack abs? You don't get them in one intense workout. You show up every day when nobody's watching, when it's cold, when you're tired, when motivation is gone. Same thing with success in anything. Want to be a great speaker? Talk every day. Want to build wealth? Budget every day. Want to master a skill? Practice every day. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Kobe wasn't the best because he played the most games. He was the best because he did the same boring drills every morning, every night. He shot thousands of free throws. Not exciting, not newsworthy. But when the pressure came, he was ready. Why? Because boring reps build bulletproof confidence. Most people miss this. They look for hacks. They want speed. They want excitement, but they're ignoring the unsexy truth. Small disciplines, repeated with consistency every day, lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. Holstein. Why boring reps matter? Because they build trust in yourself. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you tell your brain, I follow through. I keep promises. I do the work even when it's not fun. That's how confidence is built. Not through hype, through habit. What are boring reps in your life? In fitness, tracking your food, stretching, hitting your sets. In business, following up with leads, reviewing numbers, sending emails. In mindset, journaling, reflecting, saying no to distractions. In content creation, posting every day, even when views are low. These reps don't feel rewarding at first, but give it 30 days, then 90, then 365, and you'll be unrecognizable in the best way. Ask yourself, what's one boring rep I need to commit to this week? What routine do successful people in my field do that I'm avoiding? Now schedule it. Do it even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. You'll be tempted to stop. Why? Because results come slowly, and slow feels like failure in a fast world. But you are not building speed, you're building depth. You're building a life that lasts. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. Build brick by brick, one brick a day. That's all you need. The house gets built, not in a weekend, but over months, with patience, with practice, with boring reps. Most people quit because it gets quiet, because it gets repetitive, because it stops being exciting. But the ones who stay consistent, even when it's boring, those are the ones who rise. So keep doing the reps, keep stacking the days, keep showing up. Because boring becomes beautiful when you see what it builds. Success doesn't come from what you do once, it comes from what you do daily. Step 6. Discomfort is the price of change. Everyone wants change. until they feel the price of it. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. Here's the truth most people avoid. Change is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Progress is uncomfortable. And if you're not willing to be uncomfortable, you're not ready to grow. Why we avoid discomfort? Discomfort feels like danger. It's unfamiliar. It makes you hesitate. Your mind screams, what if I fail? What if they laugh at me? What if I'm not ready? So you pull back. You stick with what's easy. You settle. But guess what? Comfort zones are where dreams go to die. Growth lives where comfort dies. You don't build muscle in comfort. You build it in strain. You don't grow in silence. You grow in challenge. You don't level up by doing what you've always done. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Think of a seed. A seed breaks open in the dark, underground. That breaking is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Without it, there's no root, no growth, no tree, no fruit. Change feels like breaking because you're shedding the old version of you, and that's painful. But pain is not the enemy. Pain is the passage. Saying no to friends who waste your time. Waking up earlier when you want to sleep. Putting yourself out there when it feels awkward. Investing in your future instead of spending for today. Sitting with hard feedback without getting defensive. Each one stings. Each one stretches you. But each one shapes you. Reframe the pain. Most people see discomfort as a stop sign. Winners see it as a signal. This feels uncomfortable. Good. It means I'm not coasting. It means I'm changing. Embrace discomfort. It's an archaic. Inspect it. Don't be shocked by struggle. Anticipate it. It's part of the path. Lean into it. Sit in the awkwardness. Practice it. Get stronger through it. Reflect through it. Journaling helps you process your discomfort, not avoid it. Celebrate it. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're rewiring your identity. Ever taken a cold shower on purpose? It's brutal at first. Your body screams, get out. But after 30 seconds, something flips. Your breathing slows. Your mind sharpens. You feel alive. That's discomfort, turning into power. Life is the same. The thing you're avoiding might be the very thing that unlocks your strength. Remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. If it feels uncomfortable, you're on the edge of something better. If it scares you a little, it might be exactly what you need to do next. You will never escape discomfort, but you can choose your version of it. The discomfort of growth or the discomfort of regret. Both are hard. Only one leads forward. So today, stretch, try, speak, invest, jump. Life is growth. If we stop growing, technically and spiritually, we are as good as dead. Growth hurts, but staying stuck, that hurts longer. Discomfort is the price. Change is the reward. Keep going. Step 7. Your circle is your future. Look around you. Your future is already in your present. It's the people you text, the people you eat with, the ones you call when you win, and the ones you go quiet around when you fail. That's not just your circle, that's your trajectory. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Let that sink in. If your 5 closest people complain all the time, chase short-term pleasure, avoid responsibility, make excuses, never read, never build, never grow, guess what? You're not far behind. Your circle shapes your standards. Your friends affect your habits. What they do, you do. Mindset. How they think, you start to think. Language. Their words become your language. Limits. Their ceiling becomes your ceiling. It's invisible, but powerful. Hang out with 5 broke people, you'll likely be the 6th. Surround yourself with 5 action takers, you'll get pulled up, whether you like it or not. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. The gym friend. You've seen it. You have one friend who hits the gym at 6 a.m. every day. They're disciplined, focused, talking about sleep, food, goals. Just being around them makes you sit straighter, think deeper, eat cleaner. Not because they force you, but because they set the standard. That's the power of proximity. Who are you letting in? Ask yourself, who challenges me to grow? Who encourages bad habits? Who celebrates my wins? And who gets jealous? Who makes me feel tired versus energized? If your circle doesn't feed your future, you'll starve your potential. It's hard to let go. We're not saying cut everyone off, but you must filter access to your energy. Some people are good for nostalgia, but bad for growth. Some are loyal, but not leveling up. Some are fun, but not focused. If they distract you from your mission, love them from a distance. Upgrade your circle. Look for people who think, bigger, work harder, speak less, and build more. Hold you accountable. Refuse to settle. Where do you find them? Some you from books, podcasts, like Think for Thinkly, masterminds, online communities, the gym, your job, events. If you can't find them, become them, and you'll start attracting them. When you change, everything changes for you. Daily action. Ask yourself, who am I learning from today? Not passively, actively. Listen to a 10-minute podcast. Read 5 pages of a mindset book. Comment on someone's post who inspires you. Message a mentor or join a focused group. Little steps, daily upgrades. You are programming your mind through who you let speak into your life. The people in your life are either pulling you up, pulling you back, or keeping you exactly where you are. Be intentional. Choose people who stretch your thinking, support your growth, and want you to win, even when they're still working on their own goals. The Bible says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm, because your circle isn't just your company, it's your compass. Choose wisely. Step 8. Multiply your value. You don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. This might be the single biggest mindset shift on your path to wealth. Don't chase money, chase value. Because money is a byproduct of value. If you want more income, don't beg for it. Become worth more. What is value? Value is not just what you do, it's what your work does for others. A $10 meal becomes a $30 meal when it's served with speed, kindness, and quality. A $20 haircut becomes $100 when the barber adds experience, atmosphere, and confidence. An average employee becomes a high earner by solving bigger problems faster and better. You see it everywhere. People who multiply their value are the ones who move up, stand out, and stay indispensable. How to multiply your value? Learn rare skills, become great at something valuable, not just fun. Think communication, sales, tech, leadership, copywriting, finance, content, negotiation. Solve bigger problems. Anyone can do easy tasks. Real value comes from doing the hard, necessary things others avoid. Serve more people. Help one person, that's impact. Help 1,000, that's income. Help 1 million, that's legacy. Be easier to work with. High-value people show up on time, bring solutions, and raise the energy in the room. Think like an owner. Don't just do your job, understand the business. Bring ideas, take initiative, save costs, increase quality. That's how you become irreplaceable. The more valuable you become, the more you earn. It's simple. But here's the key. You don't wait to become valuable. You build value. Every book you read, every rep you do, every skill you sharpen, every late night you invest, that's your value stack. You're becoming someone that others need, trust, and pay for. Let's say you're a barista. You make minimum wage, but you start learning how to upsell drinks politely. You help train new staff. You learn about inventory. You give customers an amazing experience. Now you're not just a barista, you're a team lead, maybe assistant manager, maybe you open your own coffee cart. You've increased your value, and now your income matches. It's not the job, it's who you become in that job. Value creates leverage. When you increase your value, opportunities find you, money follows you, people remember you. Suddenly you're too skilled to ignore, too prepared to fail, too consistent to be average, and guess what? You can start right now. Daily action. Ruckus Nanzit. Read 10 pages of a book that grows your mind. Practice one skill that raises your market value. Ask, how can I solve a real problem today? Help one person more than they expected. Reflect, what am I learning that makes me worth more? You won't see the results tomorrow, but stay with it. 90 days from now, you'll be a different person. Everyone wants better pay, better clients, better recognition, but here's the shortcut. Be better, become more valuable, and life must give you more. You don't need to beg for raises. You don't need to wait for luck. You just need to build your value, brick by brick. And before you know it, you'll be earning more, doing less, and making a difference, all because you invested in your most powerful asset, you. Step 9. Protect your time. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Imagine this. You have 24 hours every day. No more, no less. But some people seem to do so much more with their time. Why? Because they protect it like a treasure. Why protecting your time matters? Time is your most precious asset. The one thing no one can replace or give back. Money can be earned again. Energy can be restored. But time lost is lost forever. The hours you waste, scrolling, arguing, or saying yes to the wrong things, are hours you can never get back. And here's the truth. How well you protect your time directly impacts your success. Say no to time thieves. Who or what steals your time? Endless social media scrolling? Toxic people who drain your energy, unnecessary meetings, tasks you can delegate or ignore. If you don't guard your schedule, you'll end up living someone else's life. Remember, every yes is a no to something else, maybe your dream. Prioritize your time like a CEO. Successful people treat time like money. They schedule their most important tasks. They say no to distractions. They delegate what others can do. They block off time for rest, focus, and growth. Their calendar isn't a to-do list. It's a blueprint for results. Think about a business owner. They don't answer every email or take every call. They have assistants, systems, and clear priorities. They protect their time to focus on what moves the needle, growing their business and increasing value. You can apply this mindset to your life, no matter your job. How to protect your time starting today. Track your time. Write down what you do for 1 week. Identify the leaks and time wasters. Set boundaries. Turn off notifications. Limit social media. Set clear work hours. Practice politely declining requests that don't serve your goals. Batch tasks. Group similar tasks together to stay focused. Schedule your priorities first. Put your most important work on the calendar before anything else. Either you run the day or the day runs you. It's a simple choice. Take control or get lost in chaos. Schedule 30 minutes of deep work with 0 distractions. Reflect. Am I spending my time on things that move me closer to my goals? Your time is your life. Protect it fiercely. Guard it like the gold it is. Because how you use your time today shapes who you become tomorrow. You can make more money. You can regain energy. But you can never reclaim lost time. Make every moment count. Step 10. Reflect and adjust. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. Here's the truth most people miss. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intention, by reflection, by the willingness to look at where you are and change course if needed. Why reflection matters. If you never stop to ask, what's working, what's not? What lessons did I learn? Where can I improve? Then you're driving blindfolded. Reflection is the pause that lets you steer your life toward your goals instead of away from them. Adjusting your path. When you reflect, you gain clarity. Maybe your habits need tweaking. Maybe your goals need updating. Maybe your mindset needs shifting. And adjusting isn't failure. It's smart strategy. Like a sailor adjusting the sails when the wind changes, it's how you keep moving forward no matter what. Think about Thomas Edison. He didn't invent the light bulb on the first try. He tested thousands of filaments. He reflected on every failure. He adjusted his approach again and again. Because he was willing to learn and change, he succeeded and changed the world. How to reflect and adjust every week. Set a weekly reflection time. Block 10-15 minutes every Sunday or your chosen day. Ask yourself key questions. What did I do well? What challenges did I face? What habits helped or hurt me? What can I do differently next week? Write it down. Journaling makes reflection concrete and trackable. Create a simple plan. Based on your insights, decide 1 to 3 things to improve or try next week. Celebrate small wins. Recognize your progress, even the tiny steps forward. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Reflection is the process of becoming better, step by step, day by day. Write down 1 thing you did well. Write down 1 thing you want to improve tomorrow. Repeat every day and watch your growth accelerate. Reflection is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It turns experience into wisdom. It keeps you honest and humble, but also hopeful and motivated. So stop rushing, pause, look back, adjust, then move forward stronger, smarter, and more focused. Your journey to a better you is a cycle. Learn, act, reflect, adjust, repeat, and that's how you grow. So yes, trying is risky, but not trying, that's the guaranteed path to mediocrity. If you want a different life, you have to make different moves. Take the risk, place the bet on you, start scared, start small, but for the love of your future, start. This is Motivational Voices. Subscribe for more daily wisdom inspired by the timeless words of Jim Rohn and more. Let's grow together.